Jay, come on, get up. You're going to be late for work.
Why? Why do I have to go to work? Is something wrong?
Well, you're the boss, aren't you? Jay, are you really enjoying this show? Well, could we maybe put the news on instead then?
I'd prefer not to.
Jay, could you pass the salt, please?
I'd prefer not to. I'd prefer not to. Ah, Bartleby. Ah, humanity.
The man never bothered to give 2 weeks. He already cleared his desk. He came in that morning, same, smiling, and before you know it, poof. All that's left is that note on your desk.
Never coming back. Never, ever, ever. Whew. The way that's phrased, it's so final. Why do you think he did it?
Wish I could say. He and I never really did talk to each other.
I'm asking why you think he left.
Maybe he got a better paying job elsewhere.
Well, obviously, that's one of the reasons. I'm saying what more he could have wanted from our end. Can you at least tell me that?
I don't know. He never confided such things to me.
Well, can you take a guess? Can you do that? Did he leave a hint or something was wrong, even in small conversation?
I really can't tell you. I mean, even if I could, it'd be a wild guess.
Tell me your wild guess, then.
Job security?
Are you kidding? This is America. There's no such thing. What else do you think?
That's all I know. You asked, that's it.
I thought you were about to give me a real answer.
I don't have one. That's it. I mean, if you're not going to squeeze anything else out of me, if you really want to know, just go ask that bridge burner himself.
All right, nippers. Let's hope at least you learn one thing from all this.
Yeah, what? Don't shoot the messenger?
No. Loyalty. That man has worked for me 5 years, and every Christmas I send presents to his family. Every time I send him out of town, I put him in the best resort. I've taken care of him, and like that, it's like all my good deeds never existed. Don't ever forget loyalty. It's the most important thing there is. Are you listening to, Ginger?
Of course, sir. Loyalty is the most important thing there is.
Well, Human Resources just sent me a stack of CVs to review. You'll have a new staffer before the end of the week.
Damn it. Some people don't appreciate how good they have it. What'd we ever do to him?
JJ, did you hear what I just said?
Yes, I did. That's all. That's all I'll be needing from you for now.
See you at lunch.
Ginger,
Yes, Mr. Carter?
Do you think I've been an insufferable autocrat all the years you've worked here?
I don't think I know what you mean, Mr. Carter.
I'm glad to hear that. That's all.
Thank you, sir.
Yes?
Mr. Carter, the new applicant's waiting outside.
I understand. I'll be right up.
Oh, Mr. Bartleby, can I get you a cup of coffee while you wait? Is there anything I can do for you in the meantime? If there turns out to be something later, you can just let me know.
Hello, Bartleby. Welcome. What do you think so far about what you see? I know, it's a little too early to size us up. It's my hope we can acclimate you so gradually it'll feel like you've never even moved from your old job. I've looked at your resume and you've got all the right qualifications for the position we've opened. On your desk, I've already placed a copy of the week's assignment. I keep an open door. If you have any questions, stop by anytime.
Look at this Turk lately. Like the way he's acting, he grew a beard out.
It's so annoying. It's just like, it's getting in the way of my work.
I know, he hasn't ever had it that way except for this week, and
Wait for the change.
I don't know, it's ridiculous.
Hey there, boy.
Hey, how you doing, Turk? Yeah, I tell you what, those JJ does not give out enough money.
Those paychecks are just...
The bonuses are awful. I know.
You shouldn't even call that a bonus.
You know, Turk, like the way he walks, like he just slumps over, and then he just like that Southern. I don't even know what to call it. It just,
No, it's
I don't even know how he got hired here.
Mr. Bartleby,
Yes?
it's me, the assistant. You've been in there for several hours and not even left to eat. And the day's almost over. Mr. Carter is also concerned. Are you all right in there?
I'm fine, ma'am.
Would you like to come out?
At this time, I'd prefer not to.
Are you planning on coming out later?
I'm really not sure, ma'am.
Well, do you need help with anything at all?
No, ma'am, I'm okay, thank you.
Are you sure you're all right in there?
I'm fine, ma'am. Thank you for asking.
Because I feel as though something's really wrong. And you're just not comfortable talking to me. And I want you to know if anything is wrong, you can trust me with whatever it is. Do you hear me in there?
Everything is okay.
Well, do you want me to come back and check in with you to see if you're okay later?
No, ma'am. I'd prefer not to be disturbed for the rest of the day.
And he goes to his right.
Ginger, could you send Bartleby to my office when you get the chance?
Yes, Mr. Carter.
Makes the most sense, actually. Most of the time you do end up finishing up the work before lunchtime. Why not take the afternoons off? Well, at least take a longer lunch hour if you still think you may be useful later on.
I consider myself more as your right-hand man. If I'm going to be indispensable, I have to be accessible all hours of the day. Does that even make more sense?
I've always thought it was just your body, not your mind, that really inhabits this office 40 hours a week.
I don't argue with that. Why, is that a problem?
No, I suppose it would be crazier if the reverse were true.
Mr. Carter, Mr. Bartleby says he won't be coming in.
Oh. Is something wrong?
I don't think so, sir.
Is he with a client?
No, sir.
Is he planning on stopping by later on?
No, sir.
Ginger, what exactly is going on?
Well, he says he doesn't, I really don't know, sir.
Never mind. Thank you. I'll take care of it.
I'm sorry.
Jacob Astor and Associates, this is Bartleby speaking. How can I help you?
Yes, Bartleby, it's me, JJ. I just spoke to Ginger a second ago, asking her to tell you to see me. She tells me something is keeping you.
Nothing's keeping me.
Oh, then you'll be coming to see me in a moment.
No, sir, I will not.
Why not?
I would prefer not to.
You'd prefer not to tell me?
No, I am telling you. I'm coming because I prefer not to.
Is there something bothering you that you'd like to discuss in private?
No, sir.
Well, Bartleby, I'm your project manager, and I'm asking you to see me in person at this moment. Do you understand?
Yes, sir, I understand.
So you realize that if you're not going to follow my request, then you have to say why.
Yes, sir.
Why won't you come see me in my office?
Because I prefer not to.
And that's it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
What was that all about?
Can I ask you a question? Where were you born? Where are you from? How about any hobbies? I thought I'd make conversation. If that's all right.
Oh, hello there. You're Bartleby, right? I'm Nippers. I hadn't seen you all day, and I thought that I would just catch up and say hi. I've been here the longest in this office, even longer than JJ there, so everybody knows me pretty well. And I wouldn't want you to feel left out or nothing. Look, my car is in the shop for something, and I was wondering if you might be able to lend me a ride to the store. I know everybody else takes the bus, but I think I might be able to make better time.
Sure. Something on your mind?
You ever notice how after every work day, we just sort of nod at each other and say, see you tomorrow, and go our own way? We do it all the time. Like we're expecting the next day to be different. But it never is. How come none of us ever say anything like, let's hang at the bar? Or, you want to knock over a few pins tonight?
Good night. Thanks.
Ethan.
Ethan, yeah. Ethan.
Yeah. New reuse.
Turk? I didn't know you drink.
No, actually I don't anymore. Not at all.
And do you even like bowling?
I did it once.
Rodney, great work out there. Great
I thought I
work.
cared for it much enough to want to do it again.
What do you like to do after hours?
Well, I go home, and I eat dinner, and I watch every show up to the late show until I pass out and go to sleep. wake up, start the whole routine all over again.
Good night, Ginger. Are you going for out tonight?
I guess.
Oh yeah, who's the lucky man?
My dad.
Well, guess I'll see you tomorrow.
You say he left this outside his room for you to pick up.
Yes, Mr. Carter. Why? Is he missing anything?
The man has never missed a deadline once, not one page out of place in any project. He turns in everything a few days in advance.
Should I tell him to wait a few days after finishing up before he can put his things outside his room again?
Ginger, let me tell you, Bartleby's been working here nearly a month. He's probably the most efficient, most prompt, most diligent worker we've ever had. And yet I can count the number of times I've glimpsed his face on one hand. I don't even get a mental picture when someone mentions his name. That's just all out weird, don't you think? I mean, did you ever find out anything after talking to him?
Sir, I really believe you know as much about him as I do.
Bartleby, this is Nippers. Are you there? How you doing? Never mind. I need you to do me a small favor. I sent Turk out of the office on an important matter, and I'd like to see you help me with a small task he's got left on his plate.
I'd prefer not to.
So you won't do this?
I'm saying I can, but I'd prefer not to.
Help me understand, Bartleby. Are you going to help with this or not?
I don't know, sir. I'd just prefer not to.
Bartleby, don't be ridiculous. This report is due today, and I've already sent him to help an important client. Be reasonable, and lend a hand for the team. Bartleby, he didn't just... He did! Mr. Carter!
Bartleby! Hi! Yo! Ouch! I just, well, Bartleby, excuse me, Bartleby. I'm not as young as I used to be. Just stay in one spot, okay? Look, Bartleby. Hi. I'm not mad, okay? I just want to talk to you about what's on your mind. I appreciate all the good work that you've contributed to this office so far, but what I don't get is this constant passive-aggressive behavior. Why don't you ever share anything about yourself with the rest of your coworkers, especially when they approach you?
I don't know, sir. I just prefer not to.
But aren't we all friends? I'd like to think I'm your friend. I like you, and I want other people to like you too, but you make it so difficult. Why can't you be reasonable and just try and get along with your coworkers?
I would prefer not to be reasonable.
Now, honestly, do you think that... Oh my God. Have you been staying here all this time after hours? Don't you have your own home to go to? Oh, don't tell me you went ahead and applied here without looking into living space first. Need help finding an apartment? I know several landlords who would put you up with no deposit at all. They're personal friends. They'd see you got a steady source of income.
Sir, I'd prefer if you didn't help me.
You're not living paycheck to paycheck, are you? Because you don't impress me as a wastrel either. There's something going on here. Bartleby, are you wanted by the law? Are you hiding out from an ex-family member? Do you have a fear of fresh air? What? Help me understand. Oh, please. Oh, please. That's not necessary. Bartleby, can we discuss this like adults? And for the next 20 minutes, he was as still as a stone. Just like that. Finally, I walked out. By the time I came back, he'd already locked the door again. I don't get it. Most bosses wouldn't have the patience to put up with this as far as I have. Have I swung the other extreme as a team leader, going way too soft? Should I have just left him with an ultimatum? Ginger, the question wasn't rhetorical.
Mr. Carter, I wouldn't want to see him go. Especially if it's not getting in the way of the work he's doing for the company.
I don't want to see him go either. Not only does he hand in everything early and complete, but I can always count on him to, well, always be there. The first man I see in the morning, and the last at night. I feel confident in his honesty. I feel safe with my precious papers in his hands, but when anyone asks for favors or even tries to get to know him, that's when he turns all mulish and peculiar with his, "Oh, sorry, I'd prefer not to," all over again. At the same time, he's testing the patience of the other employees, and that's just not going to do well for the whole branch at all. I can't defend him all the time. I gotta look out for everyone else, too. But I don't want to come down as a blowhard either. I don't know. Do you still think I should just really lean into him from now on? I have to make a decision. And if it turns out to be the tough one, I hope you understand.
Mr. Carter, I'm sure you'll do the right thing.
Ginger? Do you ever speak anything of your own mind?
Only when I'm sure no one else really cares.
It's not that I told you that many things to remember, Ginger. It was just a contract, the files, the folders, the laptop. It's easy to remember, but you didn't write it down. You've got to write those things down. Those papers are
Hey,
important.
nippers, I'm on my way up out of here. You want to come by the bar?
Okay, great. Sure, no problem. Don't forget the popcorn.
All right.
So if you remember the contract, it's the files and the folders in the laptop, the PDF files. I need to have those papers. JJ trusts me as my right-hand man, and you didn't remember. But you can do it. Write it down next time.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me, can you tell me where I can find JJ's office? Excuse me, sir, I'm
With Mr. Carter, may I help you?
I'm just looking over the premises. I'll be taking over the firm for JJ here in a few weeks.
Well, I would have thought that would have been a space for me.
You'll have to take that up with the head office.
Mr. Bartleby.
Well, hello there.
Hi. Mr. Bartleby.
Oh, well. Mr. Bartleby's not in right now, but I'll see to it that he gets it when he returns. After all, I am Mr. Carter's right-hand man, and I'll see to it that the job gets done right, and we'll all be happy. And you make people happy when you allow them to help you. Besides, you wouldn't want to make me unhappy, would you? No, don't panic. You're out of line, young lady.
Hi. You have something for me?
Yes.
Oh, well.
Ma'am? I'm done. Thank you.
If your workload has grown so much you don't have time to clean your desk, you'll just have to stop eating all those shells.
Well, when I chew them, they really moisten my mouth. I like how wet it gets when I lick the envelopes. You wouldn't want to slow down the outgoing mail.
Why can't you use a tape dispenser like everyone else in the building? Bartleby! Wait a second, can I ask you something? Nippers and I were thinking of inviting you to lunch with us today. My treat. So, how about it, huh? What type of food do you like? I'm sure there's a nice one that serves your favorites somewhere near us. Well, how about that?
Well, he's predictable, I'll give him that. I'll bet he's one of the most pickiest, arrogant diners there is. No, ma'am, I don't prefer the sauce. No, I don't prefer to sit under the light. Well, I'd like to tell him how I'd prefer to shove that dinner napkin down his insolent little throat.
That's enough, Nippers.
You tried to be pleasant and he just blew you off. That's a problem worker there. They're like ticking little time bombs.
I'm starting to get the sense that Bartleby doesn't really have a need to go anywhere. You do realize he doesn't own his own vehicle. You did try to bum him for a ride the other day, didn't you?
I don't know what you mean. I haven't been able to say 2 words to him the whole time he's been here. It must have been someone else.
Well, someone tried to ask him for a favor, and I'm getting the sense he doesn't care to oblige others.
It was Ginger, wasn't it?
I can't remember who it was. What does it matter, anyway?
Problem with that woman is she never learned to respect me. If you want me to do something about it, just say so, because I will.
Take it easy. Nippers, it wasn't her.
And as for this guy Bartleby, you better watch him. Any day you'll have an office massacre on your hands.
There you go, being morbid. You shouldn't be like that. It's catchy.
Mr. Nippers, are you all right?
JJ, I've been thinking.
Don't you knock?
I thought you kept an open door.
I've been telling everyone for the past few days I'd like for everyone to at least knock before walking in from this point on.
Anyway, I've been thinking. About that half-day offer? You're right. I shouldn't be hanging around here any more than I'm needed.
That option's no longer on the table.
Beg your pardon?
You were right before. A right-hand man should be accessible at all times. You could take a later lunch hour if that works better on your schedule, but I'd prefer no early leave for anyone.
You prefer what?
Mr. Bartleby?
This is the third deadline he's missed.
I don't think he even moves around in there anymore. He just sits and stares ahead.
That certainly changes things. Now we've got a leech and a sloth on our hands.
What do you plan on doing with him?
I don't really know. I suppose I'll just have to take the work that he hasn't done and spread it out amongst the rest of the staff. It's not fair, I'm sure, but I don't see any other way we can catch up. Ginger? Are you okay?
Yes, sir, I'm sorry.
Why don't you take a small break in the lounge? This is it, Bartleby. I can't put up with any more of this childish intransigence. You've got to understand how this organization works. We have a system of unit accounts working in sync. And if you can't get with the program, well, then you're just going to have to find work elsewhere. You listening? What's that? Well, if that's the way you want it, then you're fired. Get out of here!
Mr. Carter, is everything okay?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you for looking in on me.
Do you need anything from me?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
You have something to say to Mr. Bartleby?
No.
Bartleby, you don't understand. You're being let go. That's why you're getting this severance check. It's supposed to help keep you on your feet until you find another job. Mr. Carter doesn't have to do this because you haven't served your probationary period. So why don't you just accept his generosity?
I'd prefer not to.
You don't understand. You're not being asked whether you want to take this check or not.
I'd still prefer not to.
Bartleby, take the check.
No.
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 Bartleby, take the check.
Bartleby, a word, please. I'm here to tell you that you're going to have to leave. Now, I understand you don't care about collecting your pay, but not being a real employee still doesn't give you the right to hang around and do nothing. I suppose I should have done this weeks ago, but I still believe in giving people the benefit of the doubt. You've used up all your chances. It's time to move on. Bartleby, did you hear what I said? You have until the end of the day. Could somebody just pick this up? Thank you, Ginger. Everyone, please thank Ginger. Ginger, do you know who was sitting in my chair? My buttocks does not look like that. Yeah, thank you. Who was playing JJ today? Yes, the young up-and-comer. Isn't that wonderful? You never know, It's good to practice. I used to do the same thing when I was young. executive like yourself. But folks, seriously, we have a very serious problem on our hands that I'm sure just about all of us are aware of. I've given our new employee, Bartleby, the ultimatum to move out at the end of the day. Trouble is, I did this last week, and he's still here.
I bet the man weighs 70 pounds, soaking wet. I say we call a cop, grab him by the scruff, and drop kick him to the curb.
Yes, thank you, nippers, everybody. That's a brutal but predictable solution coming from you.
I wouldn't do that. You hear what happened last year at Adams and Colt? They had a young boy there just like Bartleby. You know, the kind, that has gun collection, lives down in his basement, mom serves him them TV dinners. Somebody pissed him off. He came in and cleared them all out. I wouldn't mess with him. It was in the headlines, I'm telling you. I wouldn't mess with him. I wouldn't mess with that boy. No.
Oh, I'm so lonely.
Oh, y'all. The boy's touched. I wouldn't do it. That boy's
Stay on point, people. I'll tell you what I've done so far. I went ahead and talked to Bartleby this morning. Hear me out. I told him I was going to call the state sanitarium and have them pick him up. They have an extra room they can spare for cases like him, and they are aware he is to check in there as a resident. He has 3 days to go to the sanitarium himself, voluntarily. Otherwise, they'll come and get him themselves. It will give him time to cool off if he's still really carrying some sort of grudge with us. And if he still doesn't feel like it at the end of the 3 days,
What do you think the odds are he'll leave before then?
I'll lay down 50 he goes before 3 days. Anyone here want to take me on?
70 says he does.
I'm not a betting man. I'm a
70,
Christian
what
man.
is his
so
brother?
I'm not gonna
Nick,
bet.
would you got any ideas on your own?
I got $40.
$70. Who bet $70?
I got 40.
50. Don't
I got 40. I got 40. I got 40. 4 days.
Guys, I'll be right back.
Check and see if you go.
Bartleby, overall, you have disrupted the peace and the stability in this company, and you have been the cause of great unwelcome commotion just by persisting in occupying this office long after you've been dismissed. Now, one of two things must take place. Either you must do something, or something must be done to you. Now, I may consider taking you back as long as you agree to resume doing your job. I sort of feel like I'm overextending myself for some reason, but I'm willing to do that for you. So how about it? I'm saying, are you willing to make a change for us and start getting back to work?
I would prefer not to make a change.
Maybe you just gotten tired of this place. All right. I could pull a few strings. There's a clerkship position I know of in town. Would you prefer to work there?
There's too much confinement in that position. No, I would not prefer the clerkship.
Too much confinement? What are you talking about? You keep yourself confined all the time.
I would prefer not to work at the clerkship.
There's also a bartender's position I know of in town. I can see what I can do about securing you that. If you're not particular, that's something not too confining. It might even be laid back. What about that?
No, I don't believe I would like that at all. But I'm not particular.
Would you like to travel the country collecting bills for merchants? It'd be good for your health. You'd at least be getting some of the blood circulating.
No, I would prefer to do something else. I do like to be stationary, but I'm not particular.
Fine! Be stationary, because now you leave us no choice but to have you forcibly removed from here! I did try to help you. I gave you some choices, and you flatly turned me down each time. Well, one way or another, you will be leaving. I don't know where you thought this line of stubbornness would ever go. Nevertheless, the end will be the same. I'm sorry.
Bartleby, wake up. I got a phone call here. It's for you. Wake up.
Hello, Bartleby. How are you doing today?
I know you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore.
Oh, come on. We can still be friends, right? You know very well it wasn't me who brought you there anyway. And besides, that place isn't so bad.
Did I send you books? No, that's right. They refused them. They're hardbound. You're not allowed to have anything. Well, I'll send some softbound. That'll be nice. And I know there are no windows, but you can. You remember what the stars look like, right?
I want to make sure he's given the very best in food and accommodation. I will make it worth your while.
He hasn't eaten one bite the whole time he's been here.
Well, then maybe a change in diet may swag him.
I want you to scour the menus from the best restaurants in town. I'll have a man bring in nice luxury bed sheets, nice carpets, magazines, maybe even a music player. Whatever Bartleby wants, I'll cover it.
Whatever you like, but he'll still be no different tomorrow than he is today. But sure, I'll take your money.
I went to visit him again a week later. They said they had emptied the room the day before. He hadn't eaten any of the fine food Mr. Carter had catered just for him. Hadn't opened any of my other gifts I'd sent. Since I wasn't family, they wouldn't tell me where they took his body. They tried to ask people about him at his old address. They asked his landlady. She said he had no visitors, was always polite, always paid his rent on time. The officials at the sanitarium said that he had listed no friends, no beneficiaries. It was almost as if he appeared out of thin air.
Well, are you all right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just remember, Bartleby is just one man. And there's still you and me and the rest of the staff to think about. And as sad as the story turned out, it's best to keep a proper perspective and mind the living. Okay?
Of course, sir.
I got some work to do, and I need this proofread this afternoon, okay?
I'll get to it soon, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Ginger.
Ginger, thanks. Who is this Bartleby anyhow?
Bartleby? He was a nobody.
Just say, are you alright? Bartleby, are you alright?
Okay.
And action.
Bartleby, are you alright in there?